What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Lead From Here podcast. I am Jason. Today we are talking about how to interview your next leader. This is a fun one, and I actually had a situation where I was working at a company, and I had two bosses prior to this person, and I went into the interview and basically told the person that I don't know why you're here. Like, they keep hiring people to do this job, and they keep flaming out. What are you going to do? You're just going to flame out too. I would not personally recommend that point, because it took me a year to kind of build trust with that person and show them, like, I'm not a flight risk. I'm not here to make your life miserable. I'm actually a good employee, and I appreciate that you're here if you're actually going to do the job. And so yeah, don't do that. That's a terrible idea, and it did not, in the long run, it didn't work out very well for me. In the short term, it was okay, and I rebuilt trust, but ultimately, don't do that. Come in with a very open mind. Come in with a real sense of just trying to get who they are as a person and who they are as a leader. Ask what their leadership philosophy is. Let them talk about their leadership. Let them riff. Let them kind of go deeper about what their concepts are that they're trying to bring to this team, to your company. Like, hey, how have you built a team, and what did you use to do that? How many different companies have you done this at? Where do you feel like your biggest strength as leaders? What do you think your biggest weakness is? How do you plan to work together with the leadership group that's already in place to improve things? Or have you heard things that maybe you'd be concerned about coming in here? Are there things happening in your company that you have turned around that you would like to bring here? There's a lot of different ways you can approach this conversation, but I think the biggest thing is to help them understand that you're here as a guide to what the business is. And if they have questions, definitely leave time for them to ask questions, because you can get a lot of information from the way the questions they're asking, the way they're asking them, and the way they respond to your answers. It's important to know that there's a good chance that one of these people that you're interviewing is probably going to be your new boss. So if you treat any of them differently, like for me, telling them I didn't know why they were here, it ended up putting them in a really bad situation. It's not worth it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come in with an open mind, an open heart, listen to them, understand their philosophy, understand where they're going, ask questions around who they are as people. What have they done at other companies? Where did they start? What did they do before they became a leader? Understand where they came from, especially in development. It's important to know that person did some kind of development at some point in their life. If they didn't, that obviously doesn't mean that they're not going to get the job, because they might. Because at certain levels of leadership, it doesn't matter anymore, because you're not really doing development. You're not coaching development. You're ultimately looking at strategy. That's it. It's really just coming in with an open heart, open mind, asking good questions, letting them kind of use your insights to the business to also get questions answered for them and help them kind of get there. Because if they do get hired, then they know you're a good resource. They know that you're somebody that they can come to and say, I feel good about this, or I feel bad about this. What do you think? Or, hey, I feel like putting this in place. Do you think you could help me? Or who would be the best people to pull in to get this in place? And that makes you a resource and can start building that opportunity for you to manage up and build that relationship and really get in front of all of it. It's the exact opposite of what I did. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. JasonLeadFromHere.co if you want to dive deeper or have some specific examples. We'd love to hear it. Otherwise, take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.